Let's talk about Mark Hamill, who continues to stay in the news cycle because he's constantly saying crazy political stuff over on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. And recently, he did the Chicago Fan Expo. And I can tell you why he was at this con. You know what's going on in Chicago right now? The DNC, the Democratic Convention. That's why he is in Chicago. He really just probably did this thing because it lined up with the DNC convention. So you remember how Hulk Hogan was at the RNC? Well, Mark Hamill is at the DNC for the same reasons. He's there to promote Kamala Harris. And it's, well, there's a con there too. I can get a little money in my pocket for the bar because I'm gonna be there all week. I would imagine he's gonna be there all week. He's like hyper political right now. But everybody is talking about this right here. So this is a part of a panel. He actually said this twice. I'm going to show you both times he said it because he said it at a DNC fan event or something. It was some kind of welcome convention to kick off welcome party to kick off the convention. But this is at the actual expo. So these people, not all of them, in fact, probably most of them are there for this and not the convention. And this is what he had to say to a panel of people that he does not know. By the way, does not know anybody in this panel's or anybody in this audience's political affiliation.
I think he's so cool.
Right here, he's talking about Harrison Ford. Because this is not like 45 minutes into a panel. I want to point that out. At this point, he's talking about meeting Harrison Ford for the first time and how cool he thought Harrison Ford was. And then he goes into this.
He's so, devil may care, doesn't give a heck. Hey, I don't work blue. I said that before, I say, may the force be with you. Unless you're MAGA, then you can go force yourself. Because it sounds dirty, but it's not. And hey, I don't wear blue. And I promise.
And then from there, he tells people to go vote and says he wasn't going to get political. That's his only political statement. So he didn't say F yourself. He says force yourself. But he would rather use the regular term. The only reason he doesn't is because he doesn't swear. I'm going to guess because a couple of times he says other words than swearing. Probably because there's small children there, and he's aware of that. But he also did it at this. So this is not at Chicago Fan Expo. This is at some kind of DNC meet event. I'm not sure, but Mark Hamill was there. And he says the same thing he said at the Fan Expo. So he said it twice in Chicago.
And my message to MAGA, go force yourself, all right?
And there it is
and
again.
My message to
So this is him at the Democrat National Convention, whatever the hell they call it. And he's probably going to be there, I don't know, most of the week probably. And this guy asks a good question. Why is it acceptable? Why is it acceptable, Lucasfilm, Star Wars, for Mark Hamill to make political social media posts and statements such as this video below at a fan convention? He's currently involved in your projects. Are you going to cancel him like you did Gina Carano? Probably not. What's wild is they were actually both at Chicago Fan Expo. Gina was there as well. So people have been talking about this all weekend. We were talking about it on Flashcast on Saturday, but at the time, I didn't have really any confirmation that he had said any of these things. In fact, I was told by Drunk 3PO, who was there, he asked a bunch of people and he didn't know about it. And he probably heard that because it was literally 5 seconds of the panel. I'm not excusing that. I think what he's doing is stupid. I mean, this guy has a huge fandom, and it's not a politically based fandom. and he's fracturing it for what? I honestly don't know if Mark Hamill actually believes all of these things or if he's getting paid, because I can't remember him being so political the last 2 times we've went through this. But we do know, because a lot of people have leaked it out, that Harris is paying influencers quite a bit of money to be political and trash Trump and all this stuff. So I have to wonder, does Mark really believe this shit, or is he getting a paycheck? Because if there's one thing that everyone should know is Mark loves money. Mark does love large amounts of money from you, especially. You know, a lot of people have been talking about this. There's a lot of people quoting and commenting on this picture. What this is how much it costs to meet and or take a picture with Mark Hamill. It's actually probably more. I don't know what his picture price is. I can't access it because Chicago's Fan Expo thing doesn't let you check out the bios or the prices anymore because it's over. But Mark Hamill was there, and if you wanted to get a photo from him, so here's how this works. If you go to a convention and you want to meet somebody, they always have these photos they'll sign, and that is $400. So you can pick out a photo, it's $400, and it might be more than $400 because you might have to pay for the photo too. I don't quite know how that works because I like to get comic books signed. If someone plays a character and there's a comic book version of it, I like to do that. That's just what I do. That would cost me $500 because if it's not his 8x10 photo, he's charging you an extra $100 to sign it. So if I were to take Mark Hamill Star Wars comic book, which I mean, what else? I mean, I guess you could have him sign Joker. That would also work. That's $500. Bulky. That would be like, I'm guessing, a lightsaber, a statue, something like that, something big. That's what that is. Now, this is a lot of money. And listen, there's other people there. This adds up fast. So $500 premium. And let's say you want to get Charlie Cox. He was $100, I believe. Now you're at $6. Oh, I also want to get William Shatner. Now you're at $7. William Shatner is a very modest $100. $100 is still a lot of money. No question. But this is kind of the regular rate for someone like, I mean, he's Captain Kirk. He's been in a shitload of stuff. Hayden Christensen. He's going to cost you, this is at LA Comic-Con. So this is not what was going on there, but these prices are exactly the same just about for here. This is Hayden Christensen's prices. An autograph for an 8x10 photo from him is $150. A premium autograph, it's actually $238 at LA Comic-Con. Maybe he's charging extra because it's California. That's probably some kind of extra thing they make you pay there. It's $238. I think $238 is a little bit more of a realistic price for Mark Hamill, but the sad thing is people were very much willing to pay that because from what I heard, his lines were long. So he's, in my opinion, milking his fans. He has the right to charge whatever he wants. And I don't think he has any problem paying it or getting people to pay it because he's Luke Skywalker. But in my opinion, he's not worth a $500 autograph. Michael J. Fox, for example. And I think this is a good comparison because Back to the Future is, is it as up there as Star Wars? I'm not sure, but it's pretty up there. Everyone loves the Back to the Future movies. So, and they've both, I would argue that Michael J. Fox is actually a little bit bigger than Mark Hamill because he's been in more things, like more popular things. All Mark Hamill's really been in is Star Wars and Batman the Animated Series. What else is there that he's been in? Whereas Michael J. Fox has been in, like, Spin City, Family Ties, which I didn't really watch, but, I mean, that was a huge show. Back to the Future, Teen Wolf. He's got other things than Back to the Future. And he rarely does at conventions. But if you want to get, there's photos. I don't know what Mark's photo prices were. I wish I could pull that up. But if you wanted to get, because the entire cast is at the convention. That's why you're seeing like team up. We can get Doc and Marty here, get a photo with both of them. Here's autographs though, at the table. So for his photo, $253. You want an autograph from him? It's $303 for a premium. So like a comic book, which is what I would take to him. Like I would get a Back to the Future comic book signed. That's what I would do. Or I would have him sign my Blu-ray box set. Something like that. That's what I would do. And then bulky, like if you want him to sign a DeLorean or a jacket or the hoverboard, which there is that replica hoverboard, which is pretty cool. That's going to cost you about $400. But he's still, just for the kind of autograph that I would want, $200 cheaper than Mark Hamill. So all of you fans that are left that aren't MAGA, you're paying the price for him losing those fans. I'm just saying, you got upcharged because he wants to piss off a large portion of his fan base. So, a lot of people rightly criticizing this, and I do think it's quite a bit of money. It's kind of taking advantage of people, in my opinion. $500, $700, that's ridiculous. But people still paid it, despite all of the criticism. And there was a lot of criticism of this. This picture was floating around social media all weekend. It's a shame that whoever took it probably is not getting credit for it. But, it is who it is. It is what it is. I don't know who did it because, everyone was taking this and reposting it. So I'd like to hear from you guys. Do you think this is way too much money, or would you happily pay this? I think Michael J. Fox is kind of pushing it too, but given his situation, because he's got really bad Parkinson's, he doesn't get out much. I think he maybe does 2 or 3 cons a year. And I have to put it like this. You might not even get his autograph if you go, because like if he just is unable to do more, I would imagine he's going to stop. So, I'm not justifying his either. He is a big name, just like Mark, but in the $500, that's for a thing. That's for the cast team up. So $500 and you get Christopher Lloyd, Michael J. Fox, Leah Thomas, and Tom Wilson. Or Leah Thompson and Tom Wilson. So, I don't know. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on all of this. I'd like to hear from you guys, honestly. Like, what are your thoughts on this large premium and bulky autograph? Why is it so much more? Because it's so stupid. You're doing the same amount of work. It's the same signature across the board. If it was $400 for everything, I would say okay, but he's making his money, whatever. Let me know your thoughts. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.